Hey guys, welcome back to Analytics with Priyam. So today I'm back with another exciting project, that is hospital emergency room visit. Okay, so basically we are having a hospital related data in which we are going to create some beautiful dashboard. So you can see the dashboard which I have created. So basically our data reside in SQL Server and we have to import it into our Fabric Lakehouse. So with the help of a data flows Zen2, we are going to import it into our Fabric Lakehouse, and also in data flows Zen2, we are going to create a calendar table. And after then we are going to uh, store these two tables, the emergency room visit table and our calendar table, into our Lakehouse. Okay, so once our tables are stored into our lakehouse, then we are going to create a semantic model. Okay, in semantic model we are going to import all of these two tables and we are going to create a relationship in between these two calendar and the emergency room visit table. Okay, after then we are going to create the measures in the semantic model, and all the calculated columns we are going to create in our data flows then too. Okay, once our semantic model is completely ready, we are going to import it into our Power BI report. Okay. So after then we are going to create a report from scratch. So please stay connected to this video. Okay, this is our final outcome in which there are two slicers. One is for to the year and another is for to the. So guys, let's back to screen. So first of all, let me show you the data. Our data reside in SQL Server. Okay, so this one is our hospital ER data, and our database name is projects, and in this projects we are having this table. So we have to import this table into our Fabric Lakehouse. Okay, so now let me show you how the data looks. New query, select star from. Okay, so basically it is having near about 9,216 rows. Okay, and it is having a date column, patient ID, gender, age, satisfaction score, whether the patient is satisfied or not. Okay, and the first name, last name, race, whether it is white, Native American, Asian, white. Okay, patient admin flag, wait time, department referral. Okay, so this is our data, and we have to import this data into our Fabric Lakehouse. So let me switch back to our Fabric and let's create a new workspace. I'm going to name it as a hospital ER visit. Okay, so basically with the help of a data flows and two, we are going to bring this. So first of all, let me create a lakehouse and a data flows and two. Let me name it as a ER visit data flow. Okay, now let me quickly create one of the lake houses also. Okay, we have to give the underscore because it will not take the spaces. Okay. Now our lake house is created. So let me switch back to our workspace and open our data flows into. From get data SQL Server database, let me give the server name. Server name is PM and database name is projects. And we got our this table. So let me choose this one and create it. So we got our data. Okay, so now let me give the data destination to our lake house. Let me choose our workspace and the lake house, and here table name should be underscore. Okay, now let me publish this data flow. So let's wait until it publishes. So guys, you can see our data flow has been published successfully. Okay, so let me open this data flow, and also we have to create a calendar table. So we do have a M code. With the help of this M code, we are going to create a calendar table in which we have to modify the start date and the end date. So the start date will be min of the date column, and the end date will be the max of the date column. Okay, so let me show you how we can create this calendar table into our lake house. So first of all, let me open our data flow. Get data from to the blank query, and let me copy paste this M code. I will provide this M code into our description so that you can copy and create the calendar table. Okay, so we have to modify the start date and the end date. So for now I'm going to keep the same only, and afterwards I will change it. We have to do some modifications into our main fact table. Let me name it as a calendar. Okay, so now let me switch back to our main fact table. So here you can see we are having a date ID column. Okay, we have to keep the date column separate and the time column separate. Okay, so now let me, okay, here you can see we have a date column, so date only. Okay, not from here. Let me duplicate this column, and let me change it to date only. And now let me duplicate this column again and let me change it to time. Okay, naming it as a date. And okay, date column already exists, let me name it as a date time. Now let me name it as a date, and here let me name it as a time. Okay, now let me find out the max of this date. Let me sort it to ascending order. For 1 2019, this is our start date. 10/30/2020, this is our max date. Okay, let me go to advanced editor. It was 2019 1 and yeah, fourth date. Okay, let me check it again. 10/30/2020. Okay, let me clear the sorting. And in data destination we have to save these columns. This column is not appearing. Let me check what is the issue. So basically here what is happening, our data flow doesn't support time data type. Okay, that is why it is not appearing there. Okay, so what I have done, I've changed it to date and time, or later in our Power BI we are going to convert it into a time. Okay, so now let me show you. Now it will appear. Now you can see it is appearing here. Okay, here we are going to change it, not here. In Power BI we are going to change it to time. Okay, now let me publish it. Okay, we haven't given the destination of the calendar table. We have to open it again and let's finish this publish. Okay, now let me quickly open the data flow and give the destination for to the calendar table. So let me give the underscore because it will not consider the spaces. And let me choose our lake house. Okay, so here this table is going to be created. Okay, let me publish it again. Let's wait until it publishes. So you can see our data flow has been published successfully. Now let me quickly open our lakehouse and check whether we got our tables or not. Okay, so we got our both the tables. Now what we have to do, we have to create a semantic model. Okay, now let me close it. Okay, here only we are getting the option of creating a semantic model. So here you can see we get the option to create a new semantic model. Okay, we can click on create a new semantic model and here we can give our name. So let me name it as a semantic model. Let me choose over both the tables. So once we have to create a calculated columns, then we have to go back to our data flows and there we have to create the calculated column and give the destination so that that column should be appearing in our final table. Okay, and once we have to create the measures, we have to go back to our semantic model and we have to create all the measures in the semantic model only. Now with the date column we have to create a relationship. So here you can see we have the option of creating the measures. Right click on it and create a new measures. Okay, so here we are going to create the measures. So now let me go back to our Power BI and create and import this semantic model. Here we have the option of Power BI semantic model. Let me click on this. This is our semantic model which we have created. Okay, so we got our both the tables. Let me show you the model. which we have created. This is our model. Okay. Okay, so now first of all, let me pull the image. Okay, we do have a background image. So let me go to page setting. Okay, let me check. So we are going to use this as a background image. Okay, now let me quickly pull up this one. Okay, now let me put the transparency as 0. Now you can see we got our background image. So now first of all, first element we are going to pull as a slicer. So I'm going to take as a button slicer, and here we are going to put the ear, and let me go to format. Okay, so now you can see we got our all the buttons. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to align it properly, we have to do some formatting. Okay, let me go to first layout, arrangement. We want maximum rows, we want 1. Okay, you can see the blanks are also there, so we have to remove the blanks. We can remove it from here. Okay, so now let me go to size and style, and here we have to turn off the background. Now let me quickly go to buttons, and here we have to turn off the border as well as the fill. Now let me go to callout values. Color we have to select as a white. Okay, state, once selected, we want it to be bold, and it should be 14. Now let me go to buttons and turn on the accent bars. Position we want at the bottom, and color we want white. Width we want only 1. and when the state is selected, we want the width to be 4. Now let me go back to slicer setting, and here we have to use the single select and 4 selection. Okay, also we don't want the title. Let me place it a little bit down. Okay, now let me copy this one. Okay, here we want the month, not the year. Month short. Okay, in the layout we have to change. Here we have to change it to 12, and space we can give as a 2. Now let me go to callout values. When default is selected, okay, here we can select as a middle. So now we have to sort this. It is not coming in the sorted order. So we have to go back to our semantic model and sort this month short with month. Okay, now let me refresh it here. You can see it is not coming in sorted order. Okay, so now we have to create few measures to showcase all the cards and the KPIs. So let me go back to our semantic model and create a new measure. So first measure will be patient visit. So it will be count rows. and our table name. Let me create another measure. So it will be average wait time. Average of wait time. And we have to show average satisfaction score. It will be average of satisfaction score. Okay, now let me go back and refresh here. Okay, now let me create a card visual. So here we are going to use first of all patient visit, average wait time, and satisfaction score. Okay, so now we want the trends also. So let me quickly go to the area chart, not this one, this one. And here we should put the patient visit onto the y-axis and day from to the calendar table onto the x-axis. Okay, now we have to format it. Let me format it. So title we don't want x-axis title and y-axis title. Okay, let me turn off the background. In the similar way, we have to create for to the average wait time and average satisfaction score. Okay, so now let me copy the same and place it over here, and let me change it to average wait time. Let me copy the same and paste it here, and let me change average satisfaction score. Okay. Okay, so now let me choose this chart and reduce the transparency. Let me go to shaded area. Let me add transparency to 98%, not 98, 90%. Okay, and also we are going to choose the color of the line. We are going to use different color, 605 BFF. Okay, okay, so now you can see we have to highlight the maximum and the minimum. So you can see the minimum is something this one, and maximum is something this one. Okay, so we want the dot to be represent the maximum and the minimum. So for it we have to create the measures. Okay, let me go and create the measure. Patient visit max is equal to, let me use the variable, what is happening, variable a equal to max x. Here we have to select day, patient visit, variable b equal to, if variable a equal to patient visit, then a, else blank. return b. Now let me refresh it. Okay, let me select this one, and here we have to put the same measure which we have created. And also we don't want the legends, so let me remove the legend. Okay, so now we have to change the color of this to green. Okay, so let me choose, first select this one, go to lines and select this one, and color we are going to select as green. Okay, now in the similar way we have to find out the min. Okay, so now let me go and create a new measure. Let me copy this one, min, and we have to use the min-x function. Okay, this should be red color, and let me remove the grid lines, horizontal as well as vertical. Okay, so the similar way we have to create for this chart also and for this chart also. Okay, now let me quickly format it. Transparency to 90. Okay, and we have to create the measures. So let me go to semantic model and let me copy these one. It is for wait time, average wait time, and here we have to select our measure, average wait time. Let me copy the same. Okay, new measure, average wait time min, and here we have to use minx function. Okay, now let me go and refresh here. And let me select average, max and min. Okay, and the color we have to choose the same. Maximum we have to give the green color. Okay, so let me go to lines and select color is equal to green. Okay, the similar way we have to create for this one. Let me go to format and shaded area, remove the transparency to 90%. And we have to create the measures for this. Let me copy the same measures. Will be satisfaction score. Here also we have to change average satisfaction score. Let me copy the same, and we have to create the bin. Let me refresh here. Okay, let me put these two. Legends, let me turn off. And the colors we have to choose. For to the max we are going to use green color. Okay, here also let me turn off the legend. Okay, so now let me select this one and go to formatting. Select this one and width we have to take as 1. Okay, in the similar way we have to select this one, average wait time, color should be the same, this one, and width will be 1x. For this also width will be 1x and the color will be width will be 1x and the color will be same, this color. Okay, okay, so now let's create a different chart. Okay, so let me take one more line chart, and here we want to show the patient visit by weekday. and by gender. Okay, now let me format it. So we don't want the title. Also there is NC, so we can filter out this one. Y-axis title we don't want. Okay, and the grid lines we don't want. Okay, for male we need different color, so it should be the same, and for female we need different color, so it should be, let me give the color coding, FE8D1F. Okay, now these weekday are not sorted in ascending order, so we have to go back to our semantic model and sort it. Day name we have to sort it by day of the week. Okay, now let me refresh here. Okay, now it is coming correct. Okay, now we have to create one table visual. Let me take a table visual. Okay, here we have to show the satisfaction score as well as the ratings. Let me align it. Okay, here what we have to put, go to data. Here we have to put the race and satisfaction score which we have created, this one. Okay, let me rename it. Let me name it as a score. Okay, so now we have to give the ratings also in the form of the stars. So let me create one new measure. And here we have to write the title score rating is equal to rept. We are going to use rept function, and here we have to use star. Let me choose the star. Okay, this one we are going to use, and let me give as 5. Later we will change it. So first of all let me show you what we are going to do. Okay, here we will choose the rating also. So here we will choose the measure which we have created. Okay, it has came here. Let me choose this one. Okay, so you can see the ratings are coming like 5 stars for all, and we have to short it with our score. So for this it should come 6. Okay, So now let me go back, and here we should write down average satisfaction score we already have. Okay, so based on this it will calculate. Let me refresh it. Okay, now you can see it has calculated. Now let me sort it by ascending order, descending order. Okay, now let me go and do some of the formatting. Let me choose as white, and grid we don't want. Totals let me turn off. Now let me go to specific column, score rating, and here the text color will be blue, this one. Okay, now let me go to column headers, and the text color will be white. Okay, and border we have to turn off. Okay, let me take white color. Background we have to turn off. Okay, now you can see it is looking somewhat fine. Okay, let me increase the size. Okay, now it is looking fine. Now we have to give the title. Score ratings, and it should be in the middle and bold. Okay, okay, now it is looking fine. Okay, so now we have to create one more chart. Let me go to chart. Let me take this one. Okay, and here we have to show the average wait time by department. So let me choose the average wait time by department. Okay, now let me go to format and format it a little bit. So here we don't want title, x-axis we don't want the title, also values we don't want, data labels we want, and also we want the background. The color should be same, transparency 90%. Okay, Now let me go to bar. The color should be same. Okay, not this color. Let me choose the conditional formatting. So for to the highest value this. Okay, highest value we are going to select the color. 605 BFF, and for to the lowest we are going to select D0CFFC. Okay, we don't want legend. Okay, so now we have to create a heat map chart. For this, we can take a matrix visible. We'll do some of the modifications in it. Okay, so here we have to show. Let me go to. Okay, here in rows we have to show the weekday, day of the week. Okay, and onto the values we have to show the time. So let me go back to our data flow Zen2 so that we can see we have to modify some time column. Okay, so basically we have this time column, and directly we cannot use this time column because it is the format is not clear. Okay, we don't want this am and these seconds of minutes and seconds. So let me choose this and let me use start of hour. Okay, now it is coming like 8, 11, 9. So it has rounded off. You can see 8:47 is there. So it has rounded off to 8 a.m. Okay. So now we need only 8, 11, 9 like this. So we need to create one more calculated column. Okay, we can take a custom column, and here we have to use this time to text, and hour in place of hour we have to choose the time column. Let me name it as a time one. Okay, data type will be whole number. You can see we have converted our time column into this format. Okay, for 8 it is showing 8 a.m. For 11 it is showing 11. We have converted into whole number. Okay, so now we have to add this column to our lake house. Okay, let me add it. Now let me publish it. Let's wait until it publishes. Our data flow has been published successfully. Okay, let me go to semantic model and add it. Okay, let me refresh it. Okay, we got our time one column. Now let me quickly refresh it from here. Okay, here we need time one column. In the columns we need time one. Okay. Okay, so now let me do some of the formatting. So first of all, let me select the patient visit in the values. Okay. Okay, now let me turn off the column subtotals, row subtotals. Okay, now let me go to cell elements and in patient visit background color let me turn on, font color also let me turn on, and let me choose the conditional formatting. For this we can choose the color 605 BFF, and for this lowest we can choose the color D0C FFC. Okay, and same for to the font color also. Let me choose 605 BFF, and for to the lowest we are going to choose D0C FFC. Okay, now let me go to grid and let me turn on. The color should be white and width should be 2. Vertical also we want. Color should be white, width will be 2. Okay, now let me go to values. Alternate background color, let me take it as white. Okay, and let me go to grid lines. Border we don't want, so border we want as white. Okay, now here you can see day name is written, so let me remove this one. Give one space and enter. Okay, now this one is looking somewhat fine. Okay, so now let me choose one more chart, this one. Okay, and here we have to show the day of the week by patient visit. By day name. Okay, now let me format it. First let me select this one and go to format painter, use this one. Okay, and let me go to y-axis. We don't want title and values. X-axis also we don't want values and title. Data labels we don't want. Okay, and also we don't want the title. Now let me format it like this. You have to align it with this. Okay, now these are aligned properly. Okay, hello. Okay, so now let me copy this one and paste it here. And we don't want this chart, we want the bar chart, we want the column chart. Okay, and also we don't want the day name. Instead of day name we want, let me add the hour. This is time one, this we need. Okay, it is showing correct. Now we have to format it. So let me invert the range. Okay, now go to here, we should put 20. Okay, so now dashboard is almost completed. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to, okay, now let me give the title of this dashboard. Let me create a text box. Okay, and let me put it here. Let me give the name ER visit. Emergency room visit. Dashboard. And let me give the size as 32. And let me choose some different font size. Let me bold it. Okay, Let me give it as a 28. Okay, let me remove the background. So now it is looking perfect. So now we are left with our publishing this dashboard, and also we have to create a data pipeline in which we have to put the semantic model and the data flows for to the schedule refresh. Okay, so now let me rename it as a ER visit and publish it to our workspace. This one is done. Now let me switch back to our workspace and let me create a data pipeline. New item, data pipeline. It's not data pipeline, it's pipeline. ER visit pipeline for schedule refresh. Okay, now let me take the data flows into activity, and here we have to give the name of our data flow. ER visit data flow. Here let me choose our data flow, and now we have to take a semantic model activity. On success it should redirect to this activity, and let me name it as a ER visit semantic model. Okay, now let me choose from here. Our semantic model is this, and let me select all the tables. So it is loading. Select all, save it, and schedule it. Add schedule repeat by daily at 8 p.m. I want refresh. Start date will be today and the end date will be any of the future date. You can choose the time zone also. Let me save it. Okay, and let me basically once we get the newly added data into our uh, tables, so the data flow will run and it will pick up the most up to date data, and from to the data flows into it will pass it to the semantic model, and our semantic model will be auto updated. Okay, now let me go back to our report. Okay, this one is our report. For 2019, I think there is no data. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.